How's it going, YouTube? DM Tombstone Belts and back here again with a brand new video for you guys. And like I said, guys, last night's video was the aftermath of night 1, and tonight is aftermath of night 2 of WrestleMania. You know what? Yeah, WrestleMania is over now, so let's just take this off. And yeah, my mom wants to wear this shirt, so I'll just make sure to keep that nice and set for myself. But anyway, let me put this around my waist. Well, start off with Joe Jonas singing the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, show part. And then obviously the first hour. Before I continue on with this, guys, just know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen WrestleMania, I recommend going back and watching it here on your ESPN app when you're finally able to, or Netflix when you have a chance. But we'll start with the first hour of WrestleMania, and which was on the normal ESPN today, not ESPN2 like with yesterday. Obviously, we're talking about the Oba versus Brock Lesnar match. The Ruler versus the Beast. And I gotta say, it was one hell of a battle, even though it only lasted for about, 5 minutes, if that? And that's the funny thing. Every match up at WrestleMania lasted only, 10, 15 minutes, if that? This one lasted at least 5 to 6. It was basically a test of strength. Basically, started with a collar elbow tie up. Not one wanted to move an inch. It was at a stalemate. And then, of course, during a few minutes, Brock gets pissed off, gets angry, and while trying to break down Oba's defense or offense, finally he gets a chance to get to Oba and puts him into Suplex City. Suplex after suplex after suplex. And we're all thinking, oh, now Brock's probably going to beat him. He gets Oba up and hits him with an F5. Hold on 1 second, folks. I got fixing up my bed here for a minute. Yeah, sorry about this. Talk about bad timing, huh? Well, anyway, Brock hits Oba with an F5, and you think you could go for a cover and win, but no. As soon as he hits Oba with that F5, Oba gets up on his knees. This is a lot different than what we've seen before with Brock's F5s. Before, Drew McIntyre was able to kick out of the first F5 on a count of 1. That was back in 36. Here, Brock didn't get a chance to cover him. Literally, Oba gets up like it was almost nothing. Grabs Brock, hits him with a choke slam, and then he pulls off his fall from grace. His finishing move gives him the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi comes out victorious, as everyone wanted to. Definitely deserved that win against Brock. Now the shocker part that has happened and pretty much blowing through all of social media right now. Brock, in the middle of the ring, got into tears as he slowly removes his gloves and takes off his boots and puts them in the middle of the ring. Guys, what I'm talking about was the shocker of the night. As people are wondering, does this mean the end of Brock? And I believe it has to be. Because most wrestlers, in tradition, they always leave their stuff, their gear in the ring. Mostly their boots and gloves in the center, which Brock has done. And he waves bye to the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this matchup with Oba Femi was the last of Brock Lesnar. As he announces his retirement at WrestleMania, he waves bye to the fans, hugs Paul Heyman. He raises his arm for one last time before he walks out. And I like to say, they might not like Brock Lesnar, but I say for nearly giving us 24 years of entertainment from your way in the ring, I like to say thank you, Brock. Next, we have the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Dragon Lee versus Rusev versus Javon Evans versus Rey Mysterio and JD McDonough. Man, I gotta say, first Rey coming out with his entrance, they're looking like Deadpool and that. Then Penta comes out dressed looking like Shao Kahn as they were sponsoring Mortal Kombat 2 that's coming out May 8th, and I can't wait to see that. I love Mortal Kombat. Don't judge me. Mortal Kombat's badass. And two, you play me in the game of Mortal Kombat, if I'm Liu Kang, don't expect to win. I will whip your ass. Anyway, let's get back to that. Literally. And it's funny, out of all the people that came out, with Penta, Rey, and Dragon Lee, all of them are wearing red. So that's obviously how you can spot the Lucha Libres in this matchup. They all wear red for some reason. But literally, ladder hits galore. People getting smacked by ladders, getting slammed on ladders. Literally, JD gets smashed with a ladder. And then Rey hitting a 619 with someone to the head in the ladder. Rusev going through a ladder. Penta getting hit with a 619. Dragon Lee hitting a Styles Clash, paying tribute to, obviously, AJ Styles, the now crowned Hall of Famer. And, of course, there's a Spanish fly that happens off the, I think it was either on top of the ladder, which, I gotta say, it would hurt like hell. The Mexican Destroyer, Penta hits a Mexican Destroyer on the ladder. I think it was done to Dragon Lee or JD McDonough. I'm not sure. I forgot about that one. Then, out of nowhere, Javon Evans hits a cutter on Rusev before Rusev could even grab the Intercontinental title. And then another Mexican, but then it led down to just being Javon Evans and Penta. Two of the people I want to see win. And to think if Javon Evans would have won this match, he would have been the youngest Intercontinental Champion in WWE history, beating Jeff Hardy's record at the age of 23. Wait, or Javon Evans at 21 when Jeff Hardy was 23. Anyway, as well, Penta hits another Mexican Destroyer on Javon Evans, reaches up, grabs the title, and he retains the championship. Okay. Hold on 1 second, folks. I just want to do something really quick. Okay. Next one. U.S. title. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Obviously, Trick's friend, little Yatney or whatever, Yachty his name is or whatever, announces him out after Sami Zayn comes out with the title. And paying tribute to Booker T, Trick hits a bookend. Then Sami again with a Blue Thunder Bomb. And of course, many times the battle goes outside. And near a 10 count, Trick comes in just before the 10 count. And then with a little help of his friend Little Leone, as Sami was beating him down, he comes back, he hits, basically that's a cheap shot that Trick and them do. Literally getting Sami up, hit him with a trick shot. Once, going for a 1, 2, and yet Sami kicks out, but then he goes for the second trick shot, and 1, 2, 3. We got a new U.S. champion, Trick Williams. And I'll just say it was sad to see Sami, and to put a view on Sami as he looks upset as he just lost the U.S. title to Trick Williams. And I'm sad to see that Trick Williams has won the U.S. title. I really wanted Sami to maintain the title and maybe have Trick win it after WrestleMania, but, you know, what's to say? Then of course, Kettle was there from the 49ers, along with Gronk, and is showing them off drinking tons of beer. It looked like a beer drinking contest. Like I say, Gronk has nothing on Kettle. Kettle could drink tons of beer. Then there was the street fight match. You know, this home thing was sponsored by Street Fighter, or they were sponsoring Street Fighter that had Roman Reigns and 50 Cent and Cody Rhodes in it. It was the street fight match. The Demon, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. With an awesome Demon entrance. Kind of reminiscent of the one where it was the Demon versus Edge at WrestleMania in a Hell in a Cell match. And the Demon dominates in the beginning of the matchup, you know, with a sling blade. And then when when Dominic's coming back, hits the Demon with the 619 and a frog splash, and you think, oh, that maybe it won, and then a kick out of one. Demon goes through a table, a 619 chair. But then that's still not enough. Dominic puts a chair over the Demon's head. Then does a 619 with his head still in the chair. Does another frog splash. 1, 2, and the Demon still kicks out. My God. And yet, and of course, Finn Balor comes back, retaliates, puts the chair over his head, throws him into the corner, smacking his head off the chair, nearly probably breaking Dom's neck. Puts Dominic on the table, hits him with the coup de grace through the table, pinfall, 1, 2, 3. The Demon Finn Balor wins. Now to think of it, the Demon Finn Balor only lost one time at WrestleMania, and that was against Edge. So another win for the Demon. The next match was Jade versus Rhea Ripley. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. And obviously the match started with showing off of power and dominance of one and another, pinning each other with their most powerful moves. And Jade was starting to show off more leeway, getting a chance to beat Rhea down, going back and forth. The fight leads to the outside. They battle outside. Then, out of nowhere, here comes Michin and B-Fab to help out Jade Cargill. And just before Jade would probably get the victory, out comes Io Sky to help out her friend Rhea, taking down B-Fab and Michin. And then, out of nowhere, Rhea comes back in the ring, hits the Riptide on Jade, gets the pinfall, 1, 2, 3. And now we got a new WWE Women's Champion. And of course, after that, we have Cena come out again announcing the attendance of this night's WrestleMania at 55,255. Looks like 5,000 more than last night's WrestleMania, I think. With a grand total of 106,072 attendance at WrestleMania. Not counting the guys that kicked out in night one. But Miz comes out with Kit Wilson and that to interrupt the show. And then just before they do something with John Cena, out comes Danhausen in his first WrestleMania with and I'm going to say, with all due respect to all the little people, I do apologize, and I mean no disrespect to what they call them, but yet Michael Cole said it at WrestleMania on live TV, so pretty sure of it. They're still going to get some feedback on that. And for me, again, I apologize for this phrase, but came out with a herd of midgets that look like Danhausen. Then one of the little people hits Kit Wilson with a straight jab right to his family jewels. They dogpile on him and beat him down. Miz tries to attack Danhausen. Danhausen hits him with a low blow, and then leads to a whole crazy thing. But then we go to the main event, guys. It's the OTC Roman Reigns versus the best in the world, CM Punk, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, it was an awesome entrance for both of them. Both Roman coming out showing the display of his family, from the High Chief Peter Maivia, his father and uncle, the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, and of course one of his cousins, Rodney Anoa'i, aka Yokozuna. And his entrance music went back to the original one before WrestleMania 40, like the head of the table one, not the I Am Greatness theme. Then Punk comes out, and mostly it was a great introduction promo in the beginning of his entrance. First, no music until he goes to say it's clobbering time. And of course, he pays tribute to the late, great people that worked with WWE that was on his jacket. 4 people that passed away. One of them was a director in that and an executive. Then the bell rings. They stare at each other face to face in intimidation. Then it leads to a battle outside with near falls left and right, a Superman punch straight to Punk, and then as soon as Roman Reigns tries to go for a spear, Punk reverses it with a high knee, and eventually, and during this midst of the time, Punk ends up getting stuck in a tree of woe on the outside of the ring. So his foot is caught in the corner of the ring, but he's dangling outside of the ring, which led to Roman not hitting him with one or two, but three straight Superman punches. But then there was some leeway to this. Roman picks up the steel steps and smashes Punk in the face with them. Surprisingly, no disqualification. The ref had a ton of leeway for this matchup. Punk starts to bleed. And then Punk ends up going through a table. But then, as soon as Roman tries to throw him back in the ring, Punk hits him with the GTS, goes for a cover, and he kicks out. Then tries to go for it again. Roman hits him with a spear, goes for a pinfall. Punk kicks out. And then, just for a little bit of adding salt to the wound, Roman tries to hit Punk with the GTS, fails, and Punk hits him, or tries with the, prevents, he hits him with a high kick to the head. Punk adds salt to the wound by trying to hit Roman with the Superman punch, in which he succeeds, goes for a cover, but Roman still kicks out. But then Punk goes and grabs the Ubafala, which is a known relic of the Samoan heritage that shows the rank of tribal chief. He wears it over his neck, and then he would try to spear Roman Reigns, but gets caught into a guillotine, not once, but numerous times. But then he would get out of the guillotine and then go for the Anaconda Vice. And then Roman still doesn't tap out. He gets out of the hold and hits him in the guillotine again. And then they start going it out. Then when they try to go for another move, they both hit each other with a clothesline. Both are down on the ground. But as soon as they try to get up, it's straight up slugfest, back and forth, back and forth. To the point, Punk starts removing the tape off his hands, throws it at Roman. The ref picks it up and tries to get out of the way. But as soon as the ref wasn't seeing it, Punk hits Roman with a low blow and then hits him with another GTS. And it still wasn't enough. Instead, he throws Roman outside, puts him on the announce table, and hits him with an elbow drop through the table. Goes for another GTS. And still, Roman still kicks out. But wait, and then when he hits Roman with the GTS, he bounces off the ropes but falls right back on the Punk's shoulders, trying to go for the second GTS in a row, but Punk loses gas and collapses, which led to Roman hitting him not with one, but two spears, going for the cover, 1, 2, 3, in which we now have a new World Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And that was WrestleMania 42, Night 2, everybody. And I would say this night was a lot better than last night. But it's by, I would say, very, very little that it's a bit better than night 1. Hope you don't mind, guys. I'm going to try to readjust my bed here. But now that WrestleMania 42 is over, I think you all know when I talked about this on my live stream, the big reveal of the winner of the Choose a Belt contest. I absolutely have it here on this MJF wannabe scarf, which I'm about to unveil right now. And guys, out of only 4 votes, the winner of the Choose a Belt contest is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the Ruthless Aggression version. And I gotta say, Your guys' votes are the reason why I'm doing this. And it's going to be a challenge, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this done and to make it look as great as I can ever make a belt. I mean, it'll be the first time I'm ever going to make a tag team belt. Well, that's a lie, because I kind of made the UWW tag belts, but that looked like the old school 90s WCW tags before the NWO versions. But that's besides the point. I'm going to make the Ruthless Aggression SmackDown tags. At least one belt. I'm not going to make two, because I don't think I got enough cardboard to make two. And unless I try to do them in a pair, and maybe have that one SmackDown tag be a part of the 900 subscriber belt giveaway, who knows? But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. So, guys, WrestleMania 42 Aftermath, and plus the winner of the belt giveaway, or no, what am I saying? Giveaway for the winner of the Choose a Belt contest being the Ruthless Aggression SmackDown belt. So I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed WrestleMania. And my thoughts over WrestleMania, I want to say I give this WrestleMania maybe a 7.5 out of 10, because I'd say it's a great WrestleMania. Not like the best, but it's still a good WrestleMania. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to leave here and edit this video and then put it on YouTube. So anyway, shout outs to my good buddies like Iram and Pez. Check out Pez's channel. He does belt related videos on his channel. Shouts to Dex. He does live streams on his channel. Also has another channel called Wrestle Chat Talk. You may see me there every now and then. Shouts to Stephen Hammer, STEPHEN Hammer. He does belt related videos on his channel as well. The most recent one about a review of a bad Winged Eagle belt, which I agreed. And don't forget to follow me on my social media, like on X, DMTombstone96, and as well on Instagram, DME96, where I may post stuff there. I post stuff here on YouTube. Anyway, I'm DM Tombstone Belts, and I'll see you guys hopefully maybe tomorrow, because I think I got a special surprise coming in there. If not, sometime then here on Tuesday or not, who depends. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.